Well, we played really, really well, and I was glad to see, because I know how difficult over the years it is to win it here. We shared the ball, we shot it at a pretty good clip. Our assist to turnover ratio 5-1 as a team, with 20 assists and 4 turnovers, which led to some great looks, and we're getting stops and transition baskets. So we were able to carry over the way we had played in the last 2 games at home on the road. So obviously we need to do that. We've got a couple here in a row on the road.
Coach, initially the score was 7-7 after through the first media timeout, but it seemed as though Marcus and Antoine really provided a lift off the bench. Would you mind touching on their presence down low and how that kind of molded the game going forward?
Yeah, Marcus was tremendous in his minutes. He spelled Zach Brown, and Zach had given up 5 or 7 of those first few points. He had lost Brenton Scott once on a 3 and didn't contest well enough and gotten driven twice. So those guys share minutes to begin with, but Marcus was really good. He made a 3, got to the foul line a couple of times, and Anton Grady was able to score in the mid-range about 15, 17 feet, and it looked really good for 2 or 3 baskets. So we don't have drop-off when we go with those guys. I mean, each of them are quality players, and which gives us tremendous depth and flexibility.
Also, Shaq Morris, he was tremendous today. 11 points, 4 rebounds. Would you mind touching on his presence also down low? It just seemed like you guys really controlled the paint against a young Indiana State front court. Yeah,
those guys are young. Murphy's a sophomore, and the big fellow Rickman, who I think is going to be really good, is only a freshman. So we're going with a 5th-year senior and a 3rd-year sophomore. So we definitely have the experience factor working in our favor there. Shaq's been playing really good basketball. Fred usually finds him on his rolls to the basket. He was able to score with his mid-range jumper. He made some free throws. His defense was really good. I mean, he builds that great, we call it the Great Wall of Shaq, and he just puts his hands up, and a lot of times people run right into him, and he doesn't budge much. So we had a lot of good performances, and that's how you score 84 points in here.
Are there any adjustments? I mean, 99 versus Missouri State, 88, or 84, excuse me. Where do we look for improvements to maybe tweak some things and be ready going into St. Louis, and even for these last 2 games?
Well, we just got to worry about the regular season first. You know, we're 3 games post Northern Iowa loss at home, and we set a goal at that point to try to win the rest of them and put ourselves in a position to get an at-large bid, and then St. Louis is the next phase. But we're not worried about St. Louis at this point. We know we've got to go to Loyola on Wednesday, and then we close on Senior Day against Illinois State at home. But we knew that this was going to be hard, and we set out. You know, you got 2 road games. Anything can happen in college basketball. It's very hard to win on the road. It's very hard to win against a Greg Lansing team, and especially here. They've beaten us many times before, so we just knew that we needed to play well, and I was pleased that we did that. We had great energy, passion, and focus, and that's what we talked about coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, the way that some of the sophomores and Marcus have played since that last UNI, is that good to see that, I guess, as a response to the circumstances?
Yeah, the sophomores are really starting to show, you know, what they're capable of. Zach Brown's playing really well. He runs in transition. He's a great cutter, and our guys are so unselfish, they find him. I thought Kelly had a tremendous first half. He didn't really score, but he was rebounding at a high level. He lost Van Soik one time, which he shouldn't do in the corner, but he's going to get that basketball, and he had some good looks. He just didn't knock him down. And of course, we talked about Shaq Morris, so the sophomore class is coming on.
Does Bouchard get a gold star for taking the charge from Brandon Murphy?
So Bush Wamakota took one at the end, and Richard took one against Brandon Murphy. Yeah, I guess he does. That's a manly play, let's say.
Yeah, Shaq had 1 foul today. What's changed for him that he's able to avoid them in the last 2 games?
Just being smarter, not being frustrated, showing his hands, moving his feet, and understanding that we really are good when he's out there. So the more minutes that we can get from him and not have ultimate foul trouble, which has generally been the case, the better.
Greg, a lot of those guys, hit Indiana State mid-range when you were able to build your lead. Anton, in particular, at the start of that run. Is there anything you saw in Indiana State's defense that created those mid-range jumpers?
No, we against Northern Iowa, Todd, we settled for contested threes, and we've been talking about since then. And I talked about it during the game. I said every once in a while, Ron, Connor, you guys have to shot fake and put it on the floor. You know. My good friend Barry Henson in Southern Illinois, you know, shot fake, shot fake, shot fake. But we've got to, we're doing that a little better. We're not just forcing up contested threes where guys are flying at us. We are accepting that sometimes a wide open 15 to 17 footer is better, and the guys can make those. So Anton, that's his range. He's not a three-point shooter, and he's really good at 15 to 17 feet.
2 games against Indiana State, you've given up very little fast break points to them. How important is that, especially with this team?
Well, it's a big key. I mean, they are really good at transition. They generally have 3 or 4 guys on the court at any given time that can push the fast break, and they feed off that. They do a great job of dribbling, and the other guy cuts in behind, and they flip it to a wide open shooter for Brenton Scott or Van Soik. And we were prepared for that. Greg Heyer, my assistant coach, had a wonderful scouting report, and you know, the guys are very focused, as I mentioned, on paying attention to the strengths and weaknesses of Indiana State. That's certainly a strength that they have. And today it says 0 fast break points. I don't know if I believe that, but if we can hold them under 10, that's good.
Any other questions?